What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Dennis Lee.
Hey, Jamal Caleb.
And this is Match My Energy, episode 0. This is basically a prequel to our other episodes, just kind of a way to get to know us. So basically, the origin of this is we talk sports, we talk anime, we talk movies, and anything else all the time. I would say, well, back when Jamal used to live here with me or in Wichita, we'd always talk about it in the gym or just like on the phone or whatever. And then when he moved back, we just kept it going to Savannah, Georgia, right?
Yeah, I'm in Augusta, Georgia, actually. But
Augusta. Okay.
I mean, we was talking back and forth. I mean, we kept in touch. Just like everybody on IG, social media platforms, keep on sending like highlights of different plays, these games, funny memes and stuff like that. So we were like, hey, we keep sending this stuff back and forth. We talked about it when I was in Kansas. We was training at his gym. We was like, why don't we just make a podcast? We was always talking about podcasts the whole time because everybody's making a podcast. We're listening to podcasts. We're discussing it between each other. We was like, how come we just set some time out and we just make one ourselves? I think that's kind of how we kind of came to this Match My Energy podcast. And yeah.
Yeah, man. And so I guess for me, I think the funnest part for me was our banter back and forth, because for me, I've been a Lakers fan since 7, 8. The first time I ever watched a basketball game, I was like, that dude with the nappy afro is going crazy right now. I'm going to be a fan of him. It was Kobe Bryant, and he ended up being on the same team for 20 years, 20 plus, on top of just falling in love with the Laker culture and going back and forth with the Magics and the Kareems and, just the Showtime stars on the court side and everything like that. I just love the way the atmosphere was there. So and you with the Heat,
Yeah, man. I already started basketball, like watching it later on. Of course, I was watching LeBron and Wade, but then Wade won the championship 2006. And I actually was a bandwagon. I hopped on the bandwagon. That team just won. And I was just rocking with Wade. I love this 2-guard. That's like my favorite position. So I was like, all the dominating players at that time was 2-guards. So I was like, I need to, I just love watching Wade play. So I just became a Wade and Heat fan. Still a Heat fan. Die hard. I mean, to my car. I mean, everything is always. Yeah. I rep Heat hard. So, but yeah, we've been talking back and forth. Especially. This really happened with 2020, bro.
Yeah, the bubble season. Man.
That Lakers versus Heat, man. We was talking back and forth. I went over his crib just to watch the game and stuff like that. I was like, man, if we win this Lakers versus Lakers championship, man, this would be special. Jimmy and Bam, if they can get it done, that would have been.
Yeah, but we had to take it, man.
Man,
LeBron needed that one to kind of solidify his dominance. I think winning on 3 different teams. It was one of them must wins, even though lots of people would say that the bubble kind of had an asterisk because people was balling crazy that you ain't never even seen. Like, yo, where was this before the COVID?
Exactly. I mean. I don't put asterisk next to it, and also say that because we were getting so close. Because if we had won, I wouldn't want no asterisk on ours either. But to me, it would have been more impactful for my organization, Miami Heat, just because it'd be that first championship without LeBron, after LeBron, and then it'd be the one against him as well. So I'm like, for me, it would have been like, oh my goodness, in your face, LeBron, you should have stayed with us. But I'm like, I don't know. We didn't get injured. We probably still would have lost. I'm going to give you that. I'm still a realist at heart. But I think we would have had a bigger fight if we had Gordon. Bam stayed healthy in that series. But, I was salty. Especially had to watch that on y'all faces when y'all win. So I was like, I didn't want to be around y'all so much. I was like, I need to go ahead and exit with the next season. So
that was watching those games, boy, the emotions and the anxiety was up for everybody.
Hey, but Jimmy, hey, almost averaging like 35, 40, whatever, man. He was giving buckets,
I mean, but he kind of been on that. Even going back to his days with Chicago, and I'd even say at the Sixers, Jimmy Butler has always been like a bucket getter, like them, just a hard working player. It doesn't have too much flash too often, but he had me nervous.
I mean, and it's weird to say because for me, I never saw Jimmy as this. I always looked at him as like a defensive player only. Right. He has that heart, he has that grit, but it's not like I don't see him as though superstar talent for our team. And right now I still have him like as a low tier superstar, all-star, just because he can lead his team to the conference finals. So he's still up there with that status. But when he first joined us, I was like, man, what is he really about to add scoring wise? Because right now he's still like a low 18 to 20 point scorer at the time when he joined us. Yeah. So I was kind of nervous. I was like, I don't know what he's going to really add besides the heart and grit that the team already kind of embodies already. So, but yeah, I mean, when he joined, I was like, man, this is looking really good, man. I think, I don't know. I don't want to say our window is closing, but it's starting to get to that end, man. Because
that like, rebuild type of,
maybe not rebuild, but it's like, how long can Jimmy sustain what he's been doing? Because right now he always getting gas. And I know this is the beginning episode, so we ain't got to go deep into the nitty gritty of each team. So
that's true. We can save all that for another day, man. So the big point of this is just kind of like the fans' perspective. We understand that there is going to be some things that we may miss, or we may get inaccurate, or that we just maybe don't know the ins and outs of. So when we drop, I don't know, just saying a random player, Eric Gordon had a horrible night because it's probably this. We're just talking from a fan's perspective. We're just talking from, man, we love the game. We love watching. We're just here to be entertained. We know that there's business behind the background. We know that there's certain aspects that we may not get or be as informed as the podcast made by former players or a commentator like a Stephen A or something. So this is just us just talking barbershop talk.
Yeah, it's really bros just going at it. Like you said, barbershop talk. I mean, we do this. Everybody kind of do this in their own circles anyway. So we just kind of have a platform where we can do it against each other. I mean, we do it all the times. I'll call him, text him, be like, hey, this person is trash. He'd be like, what do you mean? He just scored X amount of points. I was like, I don't care. He scored that for that one night. He's still trash. So, I mean, we definitely go back and forth. I mean, we're going to have a lot of, I think, lists to go over and stuff like that in the future. So we definitely going to be talking about upcoming games and stuff like that, what we see weekly, different teams. And then, I mean, hopefully we get to the point where we start, branching out from the sports and NBA, talk about more like anime movies, a little bit of game and some of the stuff that we also share interest in and we can debate about and stuff like that. I mean, it's all this stuff and all this kind of stuff is starting to cross over. Like you see a whole bunch of anime NBA type content that's kind of crossing over and everybody's kind of talking about the same things at the same time. So, I mean, we're going to be in the same space.
That's very true. Yeah. I mean, because with it being barbershop talk or just two bros just having conversations, we may get into tangents on other things that aren't even, because for us, yes, I'll watch NFL highlights from time to time, but I'm super casual in that. I personally love baseball. We got the MLB, World Series going on right now, but I know that you ain't really checking into that. For the most part, I mean, we really dial into the NBA season. We checking stats. We watching the games, it'll be two teams that we're like, okay, sure about. We could watch the Nuggets versus the Magic and we're going to have something to talk about.
Right. I mean, I'm watching all basketball. I mean, of course, we still have our two favorite teams that we're going to dial in super hard on those. But for the most part, man, basketball is always on my TV screen. Just if it's just background noise or not, I'm just going to look at the basketball, the game. I'm looking at the highlights. I'm looking at videos of the highlights, people talking about basketball. I'm like, it's kind of like surrounding us all the time. So I'm like, I'm about to go talk about it. I mean, I'm looking at it all the time. So we definitely going to be on NBA. I think, I might dabble in a little bit of the college basketball when that comes around. But I mean, for me, it's always been NBA. That's always been my sport, my league. NFL, I just can't get with it right now. It ain't me. But basketball, anything basketball, even if you see a 7-year-old get crossed over, shoot a three. Hey, I'm still talking about that as well.
Man, right. Randall street ball, little
Exactly.
kids. We own it, man. So yeah, we may end up posting little clips on the, on the YouTube channel, because this will be both audio and visual. So yeah, I mean, maybe we react to funny clips, the great plays that get made, buzzer beaters. I mean, we're definitely going to be in a place where we're just talking about a whole lot. I'm trying to decide when I should tell my LeBron story.
I think
I tried to just...
Yeah, I heard the story. So I mean, I'm not gonna try to ruin it for anybody in the future, but I think we should say that for a different, like, that should be an episode in itself.
Okay.
The LeBron story. I mean, because
awesome.
I think that's something that we can have people get, get ready to get geared up for. Like, hey, he been talking about this LeBron story. What is this about? Let's hear his story. So
okay, yeah,
I've heard it, so I definitely gotta sit back, not give out any too much tidbits about it. So
okay,
I have to reserve myself on that one.
But yeah, because with me being somewhat of a fan, because of how much I love basketball, I'm able to look past certain things and just know that, like, where I'm at now in my life is LeBron is one of the top players ever. And the fact that now he's a Laker makes it even weirder, but we'll get into that another time.
Yeah, let's speed past, man. You about to go into it.
But yeah, so me personally, so I grew up playing sports. I grew up mainly basketball, big basketball and baseball family. And then now my dad starts dabbling and trying to get me to watch football games from time to time. I'm sure, whatever. But growing up, where my dad, who was born in San Antonio, has been a Spurs fan my whole life. And, so I grew up watching the big fundamental and the Admiral playing and seeing that, and me and my dad having that in-house rivalry, So it's always been a big thing. And so, oh yeah, and then also with me being a personal trainer / gym owner, I kind of have like with my specialty being in athletic training for elite athletes, I kind of have an insight on, like, injuries and why certain things are happening, or what maybe a player should do to better prepare. So I'll also give those insights to try to make sense of some of those things, like those late season non-contact injuries that happen because of maybe overtraining and under training certain muscles, So there's certain aspects like that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always liked basketball. I was never really good at it young. I mean, just like most kids, or at least for me, I played a lot of sports as rec ball, so it's a lot of basketball. I did a lot of soccer growing up. I really didn't really get really good at playing basketball until around 8th grade, 9th grade. I tried out for the team, did get on the team. So I've been just pretty much taking the ball, dribbling around the neighborhood, right after school. I was one of those, finish my schoolwork at school, so I come home, I ain't got to worry about it. So pretty much just dribbling the basketball. That's why my handle's a little bit better than my shot, because I ain't really having a goal to shoot on, but I can dribble around a trash can or something like that. So, and then, high school, playing against people in high school, we have a army base. My dad's military, so he's going Fort Gordon, play against some of those guys, take some of my friends here to that court as well, play against them. So playing against older guys actually helped me develop more of my skills, especially getting big bodied and stuff in the paint. Like, you man, don't little man me. I'm still gonna try to get under you. Like, you ain't gonna buy the I still got some weight on me. So and then college, playing intramural basketball, stuff like that. Also kind of playing with some college kids and stuff like that here in Augusta, school in Georgia Southern as well. So, but yeah, I've always been tied to the game now. And now it's like, especially in college, I'm like playing basketball all the time, intramural. I'm watching basketball, NBA, watching highlights. Then we playing 2K. It's like it's surrounding us like completely to the point where I'm like, I should just be in the NBA.
Right. I
But
know all this.
yeah,
It's like,
I know all this. I mean, why they ain't gonna pick me up? I mean,
I know
shoot,
about
y'all
I know
need
about the contracts. Yeah, let me get a 2-way.
yeah, let me give you something. Yeah, might as well put me on. So yeah, man, I've always been intrigued with the game. I love it. Love the fast pace. I love where it's going now. New superstars coming up, man. It's just I've always been like super interested in NBA. Like to me, it's the best sport. We can argue about that with somebody else, but to
Right.
me,
Nah,
it's the best sport.
ain't no argument here, man. Yeah, man. For sure. This is definitely gonna be a good one. So we definitely just wanted to give you guys a bit of an introduction. Just to let you know, this is gonna be a fun one. This gonna, we'll end up having guests and stuff like that. But for the main thing, it'll just be us two, just going back and forth.
Yeah, I want to say before I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead.
Like it ain't gonna be, everybody kumbaya.
Oh no,
everybody's sweet. We gonna be going back at it because we had conversations. I'm like, ain't no way. And I gotta get my point across. The biggest thing on this podcast is gonna have to hear the other person out and then respond instead of kind of like talking over each other. But I'm like, it's still gonna be it's definitely gonna be some conversations where we're gonna be like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't no way. We've been friends this long. There's no way you can say something like this. So it's like we definitely gonna have some heated discussions, and that's what the name of the podcast really came back from. It's like when I come with a certain energy, you got to come and match that because it's like we all not gonna have the same opinions, and that's a good thing. Like I want to hear your opinion when we have guests and people come on. We want to hear their perspective as well. So that's kind of how the name kind of came across. How it came about. Match my energy. So.
We'll go ahead and wrap this one up. We'll have the podcast come out once a week. Be on the lookout for that, both visually and audio. Whether we talk like bros or I debate you like an enemy, it's all fun and games. Just match my energy.
Yes, sir.